Okay, I gotta shoot off to Cameron's real quick because today is a hobby day. I'm gonna get some stuff done. I gotta make some teeth. I gotta paint some orcs. I'm gonna leave you right here. And I'll be back in like, I don't know. I might just have a really good time. Okay, I'm back and it's pretty bloody late. It was a really great day. I took Cam and Zane through Old School Essentials. We made characters to play in a couple of weeks. We only got to touch on this book today, but there's some awesome art in here. And yeah, a few people told me when I first wanted to get into Old School Essentials, I said, make sure you read the original text. The 1981 Dungeons & Dragons Basic Edition, because it will provide much needed context. And well, honestly, it's true. I kind of had to reference that book while making the characters because it does explain the context of how things work a little bit more. This kind of feels more like a reference than actual rules sometimes. And I nearly got this done. I just need to finish. Let's just do it right now. Who cares? Yeah. Here it is. It's bloody done. I think it is. Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to touch this anymore. I might add a banner to it. I think maybe when I start actually playing with it and I have some sort of semblance of a warband or an army. There's no sort of iconography I can think of right now that I actually want on it. But it feels good to have it done. Done. It's going on the shelf. Tonight is just kind of a couple of odd jobs. I need to make some teeth for the Chaos table. And I'm using Sculpey for that. This fleshy polymer clay that you have to bake in the oven, and I need to kind of get that done like now so I can go home, bake these in the oven, and then they can be ready to go tomorrow because I don't have an oven here yet. I've kind of started on a couple already. I haven't decided whether the teeth are going to go like in the inside, maybe like that, or on here like that. So when working with polymer clay, or Sculpey in this case, you have to condition it, which is just kind of warming it up in your hands, kneading it back and forth. It just makes it more malleable, more soft, easier to sculpt with. Some people use a pasta roller for this. I've always used my hands. But if you do this like all day long, your hands get bloody sore. Okay, and then we want aluminium foil. Yeah. Now, Sculpey, most polymer clays are kind of expensive, so you want to bulk them out with aluminium foil. We'll do the rough shape of our teeth with aluminium foil first. That kind of looks like something. And wrap our tooth. Just using the very tips of my fingers, I apply like soft touches of pressure, and that builds up like this sort of dimply texture into the tooth. And I think that just makes it look more chaosy, maybe kind of alien. Okay, these are done. Wait. Now they're done. And they can go in the oven. I need to transport them home very carefully. Safe travels. You know, I feel like I kind of let myself down today because I wanted to take my toolbox with all the tools I should have today, and well, it's an absolute mess. And so it was just easier to grab things that I needed around the place and do that instead. So we're gonna purge some stuff. This was in a collection of tools that were given to me. This is a child-safe box cutter, and I didn't know, and it's useless. Don't eat it. This is a little rotary tool. I thought it would be more useful than it is. Turns out it doesn't have enough grunt for what I need it for. This is also gonna go. These are markers with regular paintbrush tips on them. This is for like easy painting on the go, and this is definitely not for me. This rotary tool, fine. I have remnants of projects I'm not working on right now. These can go. I optimistically bought a set of these tiny little hobby saws with replaceable blades, and honestly they kind of suck. So they can go. I stopped using this knife as much because the blade got really dull and I just needed to sharpen it. I should get this professionally sharpened at some point, but if you want to keep the edge on it, you just use the bottom of a mug, and you do that until it becomes nice and sharp. There's tutorials on it. It will take you 10 minutes. So anyway, this has become part of my workflow again. This saw is really handy for cutting up foam and cardboard, and also when I'm out like traveling and I see a bit of garbage that I want to keep but only some of it is good, I hack it up with this. This file is really great for model making. I use it all the time, and the needle nose pliers are really good for holding models while you prime them and you can't get your hands dirty while you're traveling. Definitely don't need so many files. I do like a big flat sanding stick and lots of different grits. I find these are usually much better for model making than these like jewelry files, but I do like round jewelry files. They're quite handy sometimes. Kind of optimistically, I started carrying models that I wanted to paint. I really want to paint this one from Finks Systems. Just like this cool like anime badass chick. She's really, really cool. But I kind of worked out that it's pointless to have models that aren't primed for how I work when I go travel to friends' houses. So this is going to get primed, along with other miniatures that I should carry with me. Like these. These are the orcs I wanted to paint today, but they're not ready. They're not primed. And I've got another file. Where did this come from? Matches? Why do I have matches? I never need two knives. Nobody ever needs to borrow a knife. I don't need two knives. I've managed to end up with multiple of the exact same sculpting tool. I'm just going to pick the cleanest. This is a good collection of different shapes and sizes for sculpting tools. Yeah, I gotta race off real quick. We'll continue working on this tomorrow. There's a lot of layers in this box.